Hey everybody, welcome to the Captain Stu Nothing blog audiobook reviews. Today's episode is going to be The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, narrated by Tim Robertson, copyright published by, I'm unsure, because the copy I downloaded isn't there anymore. Can't find it on Audible. So The Great Gatsby is a story set in the roaring 20s. It is about a young man named Gatsby who's a rich philanthropist who moves across the street from a young couple, and is told from the perspective of the couple's friend, who is a young journalist. Gatsby starts throwing these large, lavish, elaborate parties that he barely attends. He's at all the parties, but he's not interested in them. But he insists that everyone come, take advantage of his facilities, and drink his booze. The story carries on in this way, Gatsby trying to get closer to the couple, until we realize that Gatsby and the young woman in the couple know each other from their past, and that Gatsby grew up with nothing, went off and fought in the Great War, and promised himself that he would one day win the woman over, and became the character we know now in the interest of doing that. And as the story goes, you begin to wonder, does Gatsby love the woman, or does Gatsby love what the woman represents, which is, power, fame, fortune, and wealth? It's not a happy book. So once it comes out that Gatsby is just interested in spiriting the young woman away from her husband, the book starts to take some dark twists. Some support characters tend to get raw deals, and it leads to a plot to have Gatsby killed by the husband towards the end of the book. It's not a happy book. It looks like it's going to be a happy book, but I think that's close to the theme of the book, that, money and power necessarily don't make you happy, and that even people who appear happy could be extremely unhappy, and that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, per se. So yeah, don't buckle in for a story that looks like it's going to be fun and quirky, but is in fact just really, really depressing and full of really, really crappy, self-centered characters. Not crappily written, just crappy people. I mentioned characters a moment ago being kind of crappy. Gatsby is essentially a self-centered egotist. He's definitely a man lost in his own little world, with his only thing that matters to Gatsby is his goals and his wants and how he achieves them. The POV character for the story is the narrator, the friend of the couple. He's pretty blank. There's not a lot to him because we're supposed to fill him in with our own insecurities, beliefs, and determinations. And then there's the young couple. The male in the couple is he feels, if it was a story written today, he would feel like a jock. He's very self-assured, overconfident, overbearing. He's a bit of a dick. And then there's the woman, who is also just horrible. She's very attractive, but what she lacks, what she makes up for in physical appearance, she lacks in character. She's very wishy-washy. She's unsure what she wants. She's a blank slate in a lot of respects. It's almost like she just is dependent on a male character to give her character meaning, which is all very depressing. So we have this trio of self-centered, unconfident, confused people being witnessed by the narrator, and that's who we get to roll with for the whole book. There's a couple of other smaller characters that become essentially plot devices later on, but they're also, they're just like the other characters, except they're poor, whereas Gatsby and friends tend to be well off, to the point where they have so much that they don't know what to do with it, and all of their property and belongings and status, are not, they learn that's not a substitute for being a boring, useless person, which is the plot of this, which ties into the whole grass is not greener story theme of the book. I can't say that the book has many flaws. It's short, it exists just long enough to tell its depressing story, and it goes from A to B fairly well and fairly interestingly. I know a lot of people tend to dismiss or dislike this book, but I am not going to fault a book for sticking to its guns. It's not supposed to be a happy story. That's the whole point. You learn that these wealthy, privileged people are empty and hollow inside and don't know what to do with themselves. You get to watch their sense of entitlement hamper their judgment and leave them with this sense of invulnerability, to the point where there's actual serious crimes being committed, and these people just pretty much get away with it because of their social status and their bank accounts. And that's the point of the story. It's a story about wealth not equaling substance in a person's life. Wealth is a part of life, and having it and not having it are factors on a person, but they don't make a person interesting and fun. They're just factors influencing the person. Gatsby claims to be in love with the young woman, but as the story goes, you really question, does Gatsby love her, or does he love having her? Is she just another possession he thinks will give his life meaning? And it's up to the reader to decide whether or not it does. I can't really find many faults in the book. It goes where it wants to go. The story progresses in a way that really leads you to realize that it's not going to be a happy ending. It can't be, by virtue of the characters, the decisions they're making, and how they treat one another. And it all kind of leads to a fairly disappointing climax that leaves you devoid of faith in your fellow man. That's the point of the book itself. I haven't seen the movie, but I heard it's not bad. So again, it's a good book. It's an interesting character study. It's fun to see the effects of wealth on insecure people, and it's fun to watch the wealthy try to get away with shenanigans. All in all, I enjoyed it for what it was. A super depressing book about crappy people. So I personally would say give it a read. At the very least, the setting makes up for it. It's kind of fun to approach this book like a time capsule, to see how post-war abundance was treated and dealt with in the 20s. Approaches to alcoholism, approaches to vehicles and alcoholism, just to see the difference between the 20s and now. So for that, it's a fun little time capsule of a novel. But it is a depressing book, but it's supposed to be. So give it a read. It's not bad. Hey everybody, that felt like my weakest one so far, but that concludes another Captain Stu Nothing blog audiobook review. I hope you enjoyed listening to me incoherently ramble about the Great Gatsby. Again, it's not a bad book. Give it a read. It's depressing though. The characters are all kind of boring and useless. It reminds me of the OC set in 1920. There's a reference for all you 90s, 2000s kids. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to tear me a strip in the comment section because you disagree with my opinion, go nuts. That's what the comment section's for, you know. You have the power. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, let me know if you enjoyed this. If not, meh. If you did, maybe there'll be more. Cool. Hope you hear from me. Have a good one. All the best. And stay tuned for more Captain Stu Nothing blog. Catch you later.